What up to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the one, the only, the Don Tony Teflon, and we're talking from Season 2. It's about to drop. We're only a couple of months away. And until we do, I'm going to keep you informed of everything that comes on about From. We just got a brand new teaser trailer. Check out my teaser trailer breakdown where I go through all the new stuff in it and tell you what it means for From Season 2. In this video, I'm going to talk about the monsters and give you my predictions on what I think is going to happen with these monsters and everything that we can expect during Season 2 of From. Let's break it down. We learned a couple of interesting things before Season 1 ended about these monsters, that they are not the only monsters around. We've seen that quite possibly there could be giant spiders out there also, not just these monsters that are grabbing people up and eating them when they come out at night. And yes, that is something special about them. We know for a fact that they do not come out during the daytime, they only come out at night. And from Victor, when he found Tabitha, we also realized where they were sleeping the whole time. They weren't just in some cocoons or anything else. No, they were right underneath the town the whole time. In fact, a lot of them were living right underneath Tabitha's house. Now, that makes you think, if they're living underneath the house, how come we always see them in the woods? They appear from the woods to them. How are they getting from underneath the houses to the woods? How come they just don't go straight through the floor and grab people up? Like, they can't go through the doors with talismans on them and the windows sealed. So how come they just can't come right through the floors and grab everybody up? These are things that we're going to talk about in Season 2, and I'm going to discuss a lot about these things right now in this theory. So let's get into it. Where do they sleep and why do they sleep there? That's question number 1. We found out that they're sleeping underneath the town and that they do actually sleep. That's the words that Victor used. So they sleep during the daytime and they're active at night, which makes them nocturnal type of predators. So why do they sleep at daytime and why are they out at night? Now, most nocturnal predators that we know of, when they sleep, that is when they're getting all of their energy to do their nighttime hunting. Also, we must assume that there has to be something with the sun. The sun must affect their skin. It must burn them. It must do something that allows them not to go out there in the daytime and allow everybody else to be safe. So I would say mainly it's the sun that's keeping them away from attacking at all times of day. As soon as that sun sets, that comes out. So that leads to another question. And people have asked us, what are they? Are they vampires? So we know that a lot of vampire stories have the same exact thing, right? Vampires cannot go out in the daytime because the sun burns them. So I do believe that this is a thing that's going on with them, a type of vampire-ish situation here. Now, another thing people will say is that vampires are only allowed to come into your house when they're welcomed into the house. We've seen this with Pornstash and his little girl before he got his tongue bit out of his mouth. He had to invite her in. That's what she asked for. But I think that scene also dispels any rumors that these creatures are at all vampires, because when he touches her, he specifically says to her, "You're warm," and he's shocked about it. And she says, "You didn't think I would be? What did you think? I was going to be cold," right? So we know that vampires are usually cold to the touch because they don't have any blood pumping through their veins, right? When people are warm, it's because the blood is flowing through their veins. So I think that this dispels the whole vampire situation, and it also dispels that them being undead, them being zombies. They are alive, and they have blood pumping through their veins. So this brings up number 2 question of what's going to go down. How are they going to stop these creatures? And I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to have to do when you deal with situations that we deal with in this show. Hiding from these creatures, scared to death of these creatures. Every time they show up, everybody is running away strictly from them. There comes a point in time where you have to stand your ground. There comes a point in time that if you want to defeat an enemy, you must figure out exactly what this enemy is. And how do you do that? Well, we've seen them do it to the human beings. They have a thing called the box, right? And they will put you in the box if you do something wrong. They stick you right inside that box and let the creatures come through it and break you down and eat you and kill you. And that is your penalty. I think we have to capture one of these creatures. And I think that's the only way you're going to fully understand what these creatures are. Number one, they can talk. Right? So you're not dealing with some mindless zombie who's just grunting at you. Someone can talk. We heard the girl who porn stashed got his tongue bit out say, "It wasn't my fault. I didn't ask to be like this." So when you hear this, it seems like maybe, just maybe, that somehow these creatures were created this way. They weren't born this way. Someone or something put them like this in this situation. So if we deal with that situation, the only way to truly figure out what harms them is to catch them and put them in a box. And then let the sun shine on them and see exactly what happens to their body. Dissect the body and see, because if it has blood, as Arnold Schwarzenegger said, if it has blood, we can kill it. That's exactly what you have to go with in this whole predator situation. If it's bleeding, you can kill it. And since it's warm, that means it has blood pumping through its veins. That means it can be killed. Let me go back to them sleeping, because I glossed over this situation. I said earlier in this video, we know that they're sleeping inside, underneath the people's houses, but they always appear in the woods. Why is this? It has to be one thing, and that is the faraway trees. I have told you before that I don't believe the faraway trees are magical. I believe it's a technology being disguised as a tree, some type of gate, teleportation space gate that's in the shape of a tree, but really it's a scientific thing. I think that they have their own type of faraway trees underneath the houses, and they go through these trees, and that's how they wind up in the woods out there. I don't think that these trees are random, as Victor likes to say, because he doesn't understand that the trees are random. They place you anywhere. I do believe that each tree will place you where it wants to place you. I think that there's a control panel or mechanism controlling exactly where these trees drop you off. Because if that is not the case, how come when Victor dropped the rock inside of that tree, he knew that it was going to fall right by him? If it was random, it was not a guarantee that it would have fell right by him, but it did fall right by him, and he knew that that was going to happen. So for that reason, 100%, I have to say that it's not random, and I believe that there is one of these things, or a bunch of them, underneath the houses where the monsters sleep. They wake up, they go into these tunnels, into the faraway trees, and they wind up in the woods, and they start attacking from the woods. That's what I believe. The last question that I'm going to talk about in this video is, what exactly are these creatures that we're dealing with? In the end, we always hear them called monsters. In the teaser trailer, we hear Donna say, "Do you believe in monsters?" They are doing everything to make you believe that these are monsters. I talked about a little bit earlier why they are not vampires. I talked about a little bit earlier why they're not undead. I know some people want to say that they're Irish fairies. I can do a whole video on that and get into it. In the end, they are aliens. The people that are controlling them are aliens. The people in control of this whole town are aliens. This is some alien technology that has crash landed to the earth, and it could be scientists running tests on people putting them in there to trying to figure out this whole situation. Remember, Jade did say that this was an escape room, and I don't believe that Jade is 100% wrong. It is being choreographed as some type of escape room. It is the strings are being pulled by certain people, and that is the reason why I think he said it, and I do believe that that is what's going on here. But when it comes down to these creatures themselves, I believe these creatures are aliens. They're all aliens. Some type of infection that got put in the humans. It's something, but I'm going to go with the people in charge of this thing are 100% alien, and this is alien scientific technology going on in this situation. I'm sorry I've been away, but I've been sick. But you tell me what you think in the comment section. I can't wait to hear from you. And again, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Thumbs up this video. It helps so much with the algorithm. I'm doing From live streams, interview with the cast, and I'm going to have new From videos every week for you, I promise. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and let's always subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy. My third prediction dealing with Boyd in this season is there will be more flashback scenes with Boyd. We've seen him vision his wife when he got bit by that spider, that she was wrapped up inside of some type of spider web. It seems that when we deal with flashback scenes, it always has something to do with Boyd. So I predict that we will get flashback scenes from Boyd, but it's not going to be with his wife. It's going to be with Father Khatri. I think Father Khatri has a lot more to play in the story. Even though he was killed at the end of his story, we did hear him say, my story is not supposed to end like this. That this cannot be the ending for me, when he got slashed across his throat, which I thought, again, was a magnificent performance by that actor. But I think we're going to get more flashbacks from him dealing with Boyd. And Boyd's going to be the one in these flashbacks to help explain exactly what's going on in this From town. Now, I've told you before in a lot of videos what I think is going on, and I'll do more videos talking about it, but that is my Boyd video. I've given you my top 3 predictions and theories of what I think is going to happen to Boyd. There's other stuff I have, but I think that delves into other characters, so I don't want to spoil their stuff. So I'll do that in those videos. If there's a specific character that you want me to do before I do the other ones, let me know in the comment section, and maybe I can get that done for you. Again, if you like From live streams and you like From videos and interviews with the cast, this is the channel for you. Make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. And also, when I do cast interviews, I give you, the fan, the opportunity to ask them questions. Where else can you go for that? So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and like I just said, please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.